How exciting was it to be part of X Factor and that fame that happened so quickly for you?
Oh, it was the best experience of my life, I think. It was really good to be part of a show that was watched by so many people and have the opportunity to showcase my talents to so many people. Otherwise, I may not have had the opportunity to do that. So.
Yeah.
But of course, my friend, it was obvious you did have all those talents, and that's why you did so well. But what wasn't so obvious was that you came to that series with a lot of problems as well. Whilst X Factor can praise you and give you a leg up as regards your talents and say this is wonderful and we can do things for you here, they weren't ready for the baggage that was coming with you.
Perhaps not. Maybe I didn't make it clear quite where I was mentally at the time, but I don't think I was prepared for it. It was a lot of pressure and a lot of judgment, and yeah, I guess I was just taking a chance, and I wanted to make something of myself. I wanted a better life, and it was the X Factor was the only real way that I saw.
Where were you? How bad? I mean, you know, see, there's this perception, I think, amongst people that you became famous and then you went off the rails.
Yeah.
I'm putting it to you, maybe you weren't on the rails in the first place.
You could be right. You could be right. I definitely suffered. I probably suffered with depression before and probably throughout, and I was very insecure and anxious, quite an anxious character. Before the X Factor, I was self-medicating quite a bit just to get through that sort of stuff, and like the depression of not being where I perhaps wanted to be. And then when the show came around, and it happened so quickly, I probably wasn't prepared for the level of scrutiny and the level of attention that comes with that.
And it does happen incredibly quickly, doesn't it?
It felt super quick. It felt like, you know, there I was in this bedsit, you know, thinking I'm a bit of a down and out, and everyone around me thought I was a down and out.
Well, even your family, you say that time.
Yeah, I guess even my family and friends, I think they thought, there's a guy who maybe is a bit of a wasted talent, and, you know, how would he really get anywhere living in this kind of insignificant place with no money? So.
But to add to all of that pressure, to live the dream, to win the way you won, to be, I think you're the best-selling artist that has ever won X Factor with the initial single.
Yeah.
And there you were, so it's all on your side, and then you realise within yourself, I've got all of this,
yeah,
and I'm blowing all of this. I mean, that must have been a terrible contradiction to live with.
Yeah, it was so bizarre to me, the whole thing. I didn't know how to deal with it, and I pressed the self-destruct button. I mean, it's as simple as that.
Did you realise you were, James? I mean, you know, now you're back, you've got a great, really successful single, and maybe in hindsight it's easier, but at that time when you're in it, did you realise that it was going wrong, or was it a gradual process? It was,
I definitely didn't realise how big the repercussions would be, and how devastating the way that I was behaving could be. The last couple of years have been very tough. Looking back on the character that I was, I'm very embarrassed, to be honest, and yeah, it's a tough thing to look back on, because I've faced those demons and those adversities every day for the last years that followed my actions, and I learnt that, you know, I buckled under the anxiety and the pressure.
But here's the thing, James. How do you then, once you've had your chance, and in a way blow it, how do you get people to believe in you again, and how do you turn yourself around? It's not so much that you've made mistakes, that you were under pressure and that you had issues. It's how the heck you actually deal with that, and you turn yourself around and you come back, with beautiful music like this as well. And people believe in you. How do you get people to believe in you this time?
Well, I think the most important thing was beginning to believe in myself, and the minute that I said, do you know what, I need to stop beating myself up, I need to stop being so down on myself, and, you know, I was having lots of anxiety attacks. I was calling ambulances out and saying, like, I'm having a heart attack. This is something weird's happening to my body and my mind, and I got tired of that, and I said, do you know what? Either I fight and I keep going, I make some music that's honest, and you know, as long as I make some honest music and be real, and I'll be positive from now on, it may connect with people. You never know, and I sort of lived on that whim, like, you know, that potential
it's
outcome.
It's connecting, my friend.
So, well, number two in the iTunes charts last time I looked. What about Rylan, who became a mate on X Factor? You stayed in touch?
Stayed in touch with him. I love him to bits, He's a really amazing guy, and his achievements since the show have been very inspiring.
Yeah, he's a lovely guy. And what about Nicole? Does she keep in touch?
She does, actually, yeah, quite often. She keeps in touch, and she's a megastar, and for her to still reach out to me on a regular basis, I think is a testament to her character, and I love her as well.
And how are you feeling now about being back, about the fame and that you might have to cope with again?
Yeah, I mean, it's not really kicked in yet, so I'm just taking every day at a time, one day at a time, and I think I'm much better equipped to deal with it now. My perspective is much more positive, and you know, I won't be lashing out or responding to any negativity anymore. It's just about making music that's inspiring to people.